Let me see if I can make this a little better. It's always awkward in the beginning of live streams. Let's see what I can do. It's very unfocused. I hope if you are watching the playback of this, you are having a great day, and hopefully some people start coming on in. Trying to make it focuses on my face. I've always had this problem with my phone and live streams my phone, but I'm very excited for today. I guess we'll just have to deal with it going in and out. How is everybody? I haven't done a live stream like this in so long. I've done a couple tarot deck unboxings and things live, but face to face with camera and having something to talk about has been a really, really long time. I want to start doing these more often, and I might get kind of a flow or a format the more I do these. I'm just going to take one more second to adjust the camera a little bit better here, just so we're not just looking at the top of my forehead. That's better. She's in frame. Okay, so today's topic is all about Jupiter in Pisces. And I did a astro video at the beginning of the week talking about it in brief detail, but I want to go into further detail today, and we're going to break down what to expect from all of the signs, particularly your rising sign. So if you don't know your rising sign, I would go to a generator where you can get like your free birth chart and figure out your rising sign. But I do know that a lot of people who watch my channel and hang out with me know your rising signs already. Or maybe you've got a session with me. That could be the case as well. But I'm just going to wait a little bit longer for some more people to show up. Hi to everyone who's here. I don't know if you're commenting or what. I'm trying to get my chat up. How's everybody's day today? You know what? Something cool that happened today, or that if it didn't happen today, I found out about today, is Instagram adding a pronouns section to your bio. So that is really cool. Very good developments with Saturn and Jupiter currently in the sign of Aquarius. It's doing its job. Those planets, excuse me, are doing their job. Hi, Michelle. How are you this morning? Hello. I like that. So that to me was something that I went, oh, that's cool. Definitely figured that out. Hi, Lucy. Good morning. How are you? And I definitely put my pronouns there, and I think it's a really great development. Again, just a very good example of Saturn and Jupiter still currently in Aquarius doing the work that it's supposed to be doing. Hello, how are you? Greetings and salutations. Right back to you. I'm really, really excited for this conversation. And I'm really, really excited to kind of connect again with you guys, you all that watch my channel and that engage in the creative content that I put out. So I hope we can get to know each other a little bit better and get to know what the next 2 months has to bring from the gifts and the awakening that Jupiter can have on each of us. All right, I'm going to start to get going. I did print out the chart for when Jupiter enters in Pisces, just so I can get a good grasp in case it comes up of where some of the other things are, so I don't blank on us. But we're still in Taurus season, but we'll be quickly moving into Gemini season. And I got a lot going on in my chart, but I wanted to start with just some general information, maybe piggybacking off of the video that I put out on Monday, about just Jupiter and Pisces in general. I'm having the weirdest deja vu, guys. I'm nervous. The past few days have been really tough. I'm a Pisces, if that matters. I'm sorry that your time has been tough. I would see if you were looking for like some guidance or answers astrologically, what's maybe what's going on in your 12th house right now, because you got a lot going on there with Saturn and Jupiter. But I will tell you that in the next 2 months, starting tomorrow, you might feel a little weight off your back. And we'll get into that specifically for you if you know your rising sign. But I'm sorry that you've had a rough couple of days. So, all right. This transit is happening. It's really big. It's really exciting, everyone. Like, Jupiter changing signs is like a breath of fresh air wherever it's at. You're getting like this expansion and opportunity and growth. And on some regards, it is coming from one area and then going to the next. So that area it's leaving, we might feel like, oh, okay, I guess. All right, we got some gifts and that run is over, but now it's moving into a different sector of our human experience or our lives, and we're getting opportunities and gifts and luck and abundance in those areas, and it's all going to be with the flow and the energy and the mutability of Pisces. So it's natural and traditional placement. Hi, Leslie. Good morning. The dogs are like, why did you kick me out of here? Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry about it. So when I work at my desk, they have like a bed here that they can lay around in the sun. But I kicked them out because I didn't want them doing that. So love that. All right. So this is taking place tomorrow, starting tomorrow, May 13th, 2021, and it will stay in the sign of Pisces until July 28th. It will then retrograde back into Aquarius and finish up all of the gifts and things that it needs to bestow upon us in regards to Aquarius, like Instagram adding pronouns. But for the next 2 months or so, it's going to be moving forward into the sign of Pisces. This is really exciting for multiple reasons, but mostly because Jupiter will spend most of its time in 2022 in the sign of Pisces. So we're getting an idea of some of the consciousness and subconsciousness that will be kind of streamlining for the dogs. I swear. Give me a second, everyone. Hello? Can you guys not? No. It wouldn't be Sammy live stream if I didn't have to get up and either go to the bathroom or attend to something else going on in the house. So this is going to give us a good idea of where our minds and our emotions are going to be geared towards and some of the advancements that can be taking place. Can you hear him? Oh my God, I love it. Lucy says, doggies. He went, like, what is wrong? Yeah, so distracted. All right, this is really exciting. In my video on Monday, I talked about how last year you can see the influences that it kind of gave to us in the next sign because, oh my gosh, you guys, you know what? Dead air. You're just gonna have to take a look at my bookshelf. You see this? See this beautiful bookshelf? Maybe see if you can see any of the videos while I go attend to the dogs. I'm back. We love the doggies. I just find it funny how they were literally silent and so good the whole morning. And then as soon as I press live, but that's fine. Dogs are dogs, kids are kids. There's distractions in the world, and it is what it is. The beauty of live streams. I talk about in my video on Monday that I put out on Monday that last year we had this, what a lot of astrologers are calling like a test run because of the fact that Jupiter is going to be in the sign of Pisces predominantly for 2022. So with it moving forward for a few months, we're able to see some of the advancements or the focuses that are going to be occurring full time in 2022. And one of the things that I mentioned was it's like Alice in Wonderland, but instead of her going to the full journey of Wonderland and going and meeting all the characters, it's like she falls asleep for a quick cat nap and then wakes up immediately and has to go about her day thinking about it. She can't unsee it. It's something that she has been forever changed or awakened to, but she has to live out the rest of her day until that nighttime when she goes into REM again and then goes through her full. I mean, I know that's not how the story of Alice in Wonderland happens, but it would be a good way to describe what it's going to feel like as we're being awakened to certain things. And Alice in Wonderland is just a very good kind of explanation of what Jupiter in Pisces could feel like. Jupiter is the sign of luck and expansion and opportunity and growth, higher learning or higher knowledge and our beliefs. And Pisces is a mutable water sign that deals a lot with the subconscious and conscious mind. It rules our dreams and arts and our intuitive sense. Very exciting times. Yes, so last year, when Jupiter moved from the sign of Capricorn into the sign of Aquarius for a few months during the summer, Aquarius being groups, organizations, minorities, thinking outside the box, rallies, marches. We saw the BLM movement gain extreme amount of media coverage, support, and energy behind it. And it was globally, which is very Jupiter. So, other countries were even getting on board, even though it was really started here in the US for the uprise in the focus and the media coverage. It actually expanded all over. And then, unfortunately, it got a little quieter. Not that it didn't go away, not that it's not equally important, but we did see it kind of get a little quieter when Jupiter returned back to Capricorn for the rest of the year until it could kind of finish up some of the things it needed to do in regards to Capricorn things, like rules, structures, holding people accountable, things like that, and such, the election, yada, yada, yada. We've been there, we done that, we moving on. Now Jupiter's back in the sign of Aquarius until tomorrow, and it's been doing a lot of really good things. Vaccines, inventing different ways to go about things. And again, even with this little thing, such as it's not a little thing, it's a huge thing with Instagram putting pronouns into the option for the bio on Instagram. So these are big things. We're going to get to see where the consciousness of humanity is going to be focused towards and shifting to. So I explain this as well as Jupiter in Aquarius, or not Jupiter in Aquarius, Jupiter in Pisces, feeling like you're looking through a massive clear crystal quartz and you're looking at a map of the world, or you're looking at a map of other worlds. That's what I could visually describe Jupiter and Pisces being to me. So let's see, what else do I got? History. I, in my video, mentioned Long Island Medium putting out its first episode, which was actually incorrect. It was just after Jupiter went and moved forward, so it was no longer in Pisces, but they had filmed, edited, and basically got it already during the energy of Jupiter and Pisces. They knew that the importance and the relevance and the popularity would be there because people were starting to get interested in things like consciousness and spirit and the veil between the worlds. So it was a great time for a show like that to make its way to air and the public view. The last time that Jupiter was in Pisces was between January 18th and June 5th of 2010. And then as well, it retrograded back in September 9th, 2010 through January 22nd, 2011. So when we're going through the signs very shortly from now, you want to take a look as well where you were at in your life and what kind of big themes or events took place during that time. So the very first half of 2010 and the very last half of 2010 as well. Like there was a part in the summer where Jupiter did its thing in another sign. So what happened to you during those times? think back and see if any of those themes might be replaying in cycles or carrying over into new aspects of that. Another thing that I brought up was there was a lot of movies that were box office top hits that were cartoons or inspired by consciousness and dreams. So Toy Story 3, Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 1, Alice in Wonderland, the Tim Burton film, and Inception. I wanted to talk a little bit further about things like Inception. Like the whole premise of this was Leonardo DiCaprio being a professional invader of dreams. So going in between the layers of consciousness and subconsciousness and what can be found or lost inside of that space. Super, super Piscean, especially Jupiter and Piscean, like having a box office hit to do with the invasion or exploration of dreams and consciousness. Inception, so mind-boggling and good. Exactly. I loved that movie. As well as one that I forgot and I left out, which was Black Swan. Not particularly about dreams, but I was online and I read something like describing the movie Black Swan as a fever dream of a ballet thriller where Natalie Portman, a dancer whose body and mind are coming apart. So again, very Piscean things with the theme and the genre or the mood of these movies that were being produced and released and were box office hits. Again, in the video, I also talk about the BP oil spill that happened. Hopefully nothing like this happens, but it is a very interesting connection when you have a challenging aspect of maybe things that are too much, sometimes not always good. It can be a challenge sometimes to have an overabundance of something. And because Pisces rules large bodies of water and marine life and things like that, the BP oil spill was the largest recorded oil spill in US history, and it really affected and damaged so much of the marine life in the area as well as the habitats. And so hopefully we don't have anything like that. But with Jupiter, which is abundance and expansion and growth, and Pisces being water, there might be things like hurricanes or floods or media coverage or learning about things like that. I wouldn't be surprised if not in this next 2 months, but in 2022, we have advancements or focus towards more ocean-based things or marine life or honestly the environment in general, but mainly to do with large bodies of waters. Maybe we'll discover a new deep sea creature. Who freaking knows? It's not necessarily about discoveries, but there might be attention and learning involved with things like consciousness, dreams, or water-based themes. One of the other things I didn't bring up in the video, but I thought was really interesting was the iPad tablet was released. And one of the things that came to my mind about this was Aquarius invents things to further our consciousness or to enhance our consciousness and the way we interact with the world. So Aquarius invents those things, but the next sign, Pisces, explores them and creates through them and from them. And I think that during the times of Jupiter being in Aquarius, inventing these new things like the tablet and then releasing them for Jupiter in Pisces to really dive and explore the ins and outs of how we interact with these inventions and new advancements in technology, that came to mind. So it's not like the iPad was super groundbreaking, but in some senses it was. Like a lot of people just described it as like a larger iPod Touch, but it really did change a lot for the accessibility and the traveling aspect of being able to take essentially like your computer with you kind of thing. So I'm getting to it. I'm gonna do one more thing about history, and then I'm gonna tell you about what happened to me the last time that Jupiter was in Pisces, and then we will go through all of the signs. And I hope that you're enjoying this. If you have any questions along the way, please feel free to comment them in the live chat. And if you're watching the playback of this, feel free to comment them down below. I'll be checking back on this periodically so we can keep the conversation going. So iPad, also good for art. Exactly. It really opened up a lot for illustrators and creatives to be thinking about doing digital art and things in a new way. So exactly. Great point, Michelle. Another thing I thought was really interesting when I was looking back at the last time that Jupiter was in Pisces, again in 2010, during February of 2010, we had what Obama declared snowmageddon, where we received 40 inches of snow in 1 week. Now, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I said in my Monday video, an abundance of water. Clearly, it was February, so it was really cold. So that abundance of water manifested in snow. But Jupiter brings expansion and growth and opportunity and expands everything like times 10, times 100. It's like taking a magnifying glass or like blowing something up to bigger proportions. And Pisces being a large body of water, well, when it's just cold, that water turns to snow. And getting 40 inches of snow in 1 week is pretty monumental. And so, with this in the summer, we might, if not be seeing a lot of rain, because it depends on where everybody is in the world, but we might really be seeing an advancement, or not an advancement, an abundance of water in some sense. And again, if this doesn't happen in the next 2 months, think about big things that could take place when Jupiter stations in Pisces for good in 2022. So this, we're kind of dipping our toes into what these themes or these actions might come to be next year. Okay, that's all I have to kind of draw some parallels and get the gears turning for kind of the things that were big that happened in 2010. And honestly, there wasn't a ton of huge things that I saw. But today we're coming out of some really traumatic experiences of the pandemic, and a lot that has changed. When Jupiter was in Pisces, for me, I had the most powerful spiritual experience of my entire life. This is going to get kind of serious for everybody, and I'll try and go quickly. But in February 23rd, 2010, I assisted my papa, who I was very, very close with, crossover. So he had been ill and kind of in the hospital for like 22 days or so. And then we and him made the decision to put him on life support and to let him, excuse me, journey over. It is back to a 12-year cycle for me for this experience. Um, just to give you a little bit of a connection of why I'm bringing this particular topic up, is because Jupiter, I have my notes over here, that's why I'm looking that way. Um, Pisces is institutions, hospitals, and between worlds. It's the veil between worlds. It's, there is no hard line, there is walls in between consciousness or subconsciousness or spirit and soul and body and mind. In Piscean terms, everything is flow, everything is energy, and everything is connected. There is no hard lines and structures, which can be quite difficult for that energy to explore the world of structures because they see everything as fluid. So, with it being under the rulership of Jupiter, a gift, a higher power or knowledge, spiritual, it really is a language of energy. And this might not make sense for a lot of people, but I was in an eighth house perfection year, which deals with transformation and death. And um, Jupiter was transiting my seventh house of one on one relationships. And I really went through an awakening of the language of energy and the language of spirit. It had been taught to me, it had been around me my whole life. But I had really shut it out and I had really denied it, and I had really been confused by it until I was in the room with him and just knew and felt that he needed my energy and my love and my gift and my language to help guide him through. And so I was holding on to him. And instead of seeing this experience of eighth house perfection year of death and transformation and rebirth and one-on-one relationships, I and my family saw this as a gift, and that's how we talked about it. And when we helped him cross over, that gift of love and energy into me completely awakened a new sense of spirituality and a journey that has now gotten me to where I am today. I really felt a healing of mental and emotional healing, which is very Piscean. The opposition sign is Virgo, and Virgo deals with more physical health and healing, and Pisces is more emotional and mental health. But being able to use my language of energy to have this one-on-one relationship experience with my family and my papa crossing over, it was very, very big for me. So I expect that for me, my placements and what I have going on, it's going to be maybe not the same thing. Hopefully, it's not the same thing, but it was a gift. Where a lot of times a situation like that, losing a loved one or someone crossing over, is met with a lot of grief and sorrow. And after he crossed over, we all danced and hugged and jumped up and down, and we were relieved and happy and filled with like such a sense of like gratitude that we got to be there for him and that we got to help him. And so that's what Jupiter feels like, is a gift. And it can help us see things in that way, to see life as a gift, or to see experiences as opportunities for gain or for healing or for a higher knowledge. So I know that was kind of intense, but it is true. And I do see that that in my life was a big, big thing. And I'm hoping to have beautiful experiences. Maybe not the same. Not hoping that that happens to me again, but I am very grateful for that experience. Okay, should we get into all of the signs? Do you guys want to know what's going on for you? Does everybody know their rising signs that are here? Because I'm going to be doing this and it's going to really be accurate. If you don't know your rising sign and you just know your sun sign, or maybe your moon sign, you can listen to those, but it really will be the most accurate for rising signs. And sorry for those of you at the end of the zodiacal order, because I am going to start with Aries rising, but feel free to come back or to skip to yours if you're not in the beginning. If you're watching the playback, it'll be really easy. Pisces, Sun, Aries, Rising, Aries, Moon, listening intently. Woo! Wow. All right. Okay, okay. So, yeah, Aries Rising. If you're an Aries Rising, like Michelle, please comment, if you're watching the playback, a bunch of red hearts. Or if you're watching the live stream, comment a bunch of red hearts so I know where my Aries risings are. This Jupiter in Pisces placement is going to be transiting through your 12th house. This 12th house is the house of Pisces in institutions and endings and spirit. We really could be having this moment of spiritual awakening. This is a really big transit for Aries rising people, because this Jupiter is going to be expanding or gaining luck or advancements or opportunities to awaken our dreams, our subconscious, to connect with spirit, to really find emotional renewal, emotional healing. It's not going to be the same experience as what I just talked about, but here we go. Look at Emmy. I love that. I love all those emojis. Why do those look so cool, actually? Coming through my chat, they look a lot different than normal. I love that. This is really, really important for you all to make sure that you're spending time focusing on your daydreams, focusing on your inspirational ideas that are coming through what feels like nowhere. You all might be experiencing a lot more synchronicities than normal. There might be an unveiling of the soul. This is a big one. I'm going to be giving everybody their descriptions, but yours is going to seem very meta, but that's what this placement is. Jupiter in the 12th house, or just the 12th house in general, but with the sign of Pisces, is very meta. Um, Gifts for the subconscious. So you could really value and gain a lot of insights through meditation or doing things like breathing healing or energy healing, learning about things like chakra, Reiki. And if you're not into all of that, there might be some endings that feel like an awakening of your emotional healing. Some things coming to an end, or you dealing with things such as spirit, or honestly, this is one of the houses for astrology. So if you're trying to learn astrology, it is a really good time to do that because Jupiter is the language. It kind of opens that center of us for higher learning and the divine to be able to kind of have things flow in a little bit easier. Um, this is kind of for everyone. I feel like uh, mostly going to be external, but for people like Aries rising, Jupiter in the 12th house might feel a little bit more like there's things that are processing on the inside. Again, a boost to mental health, emotional health. It would be a really great time to get a therapist if you don't already have one, or if you have been seeing one, you might feel like great advancements in this area. Let me just see. Emmy says, I just looked back at the time you said Jupiter was in Pisces. Last time I had just started dabbling in going to a Christian church. I got baptized that year. So weird. Yes, that's a really great baptized water. And Christian church would be things like Jupiter. Jupiter tells us about our beliefs, our structures. Institutions is the 12th house. So if that is what you're being drawn to and that's where you were at, literally being and having a rebirth of our emotional, our spiritual, and our mental feelings and beliefs through water is very, very good example of how this could come to be. So thank you for bringing that up. Not saying everyone's going to go out and get baptized if they're Aries rising, but it's a good way to kind of bring some of the things I'm saying together, because describing how Jupiter and Pisces through the 12th house for Aries risings might go can seem a little bit grandiose or kind of like out there and not as structured, but that's what the 12th house is. Just see if there's anything. Hi, hello, beautiful. So I think that's it for Aries. Honestly, take a look and really make sure that you're spending time with checking in with your emotional well-being. How is your mental health? How is your emotional health? And what are your beliefs? And what are some of the things that we are uncovering and that we are exploring through the world of dreams and meditation, or even inspiration coming out of things like watching fantasy movies, reading fantasy books, and things like that. So, what is to expect for Taurus? Let me go back in my notes. For all my Taurus rising people, give me a bunch of green hearts or leaf emojis in the live chat or in the playback if you are a Taurus rising. Again, if you don't know your rising, you could focus on this if you are a Taurus sun or moon, but it will be the most accurate for Taurus rising. I also want to mention that I did not in the beginning, that if you want to get even more specific on how this will affect you, you're going to want to take a look at what planets might be stationed in these houses for you. So again, Aries rising, what is in your 12th house? Is there anything? If not, great. But if it is, maybe take a look at what those planets represent, and it might give you even more of a specific or pinpointed explanation of what might occur for you within the next 2 months. But anyways, back to Taurus. What is in your 11th house? What is stationed there? But 11th house represents groups, friends, technology. It really is about coming together and connecting with a purpose with other people. This is a great time for Jupiter to give you gifts and abundance and luck in regards to friends or networking, working on group projects, or exploring and uncovering um, knowledge with minorities or thinking outside the box. So how does it work? Like that show, How Does It Work, or How Was It Invented? You might feel a lot of pulls to kind of discover things that you haven't thought about before, thinking outside the box, which is really good for Taurus because Taurus can get really rooted and comfortable in the same old, same old. It's very reliable and dependable, but I do think that this is a really beautiful gift for those who have Taurus risings to kind of feel like they're stepping outside a bit of their normal interactions and communications. Marketing or social media increase if you're someone that is looking for attention via online or marketing yourself. This is a great time to do it. So whether you have your own channel or you have your own business or anything like that, you might be gaining a lot of attention or recognition or maybe knowledge of how to get those things during this 2 month period. Help or support from friends or to friends. Again, this is the house of friendship and community and groups and organizations. So Jupiter being here is like maybe you make a lot of friends, or maybe you're able to spend time with friends, again, safely. Obviously, we're still dealing with the pandemic, but there has been great advancements, at least in the US, in most areas, with a lot of the vaccines being rolled out. So you might be actually getting to spend time with friends, and it feels like such a gift after so long. Working in teams, teamwork can give you a lot of benefits or success or expansion this time. Dreaming big for the future. The 11th house rules the future, our hopes and wishes. So now is a really great time to sit down and to think, like, what do I want in the future? Because as soon as you start acknowledging that or putting things forth, like manifestation in the universe wants to give you those things. But you're going to have to kind of spend a little bit of time to make sure it's clear, and maybe plan. So maybe make those vision boards or collage your, what you want. But that is a really great space for Taurus risings, is groups, friends, organizations. Hello, Lisa P. How are you? Um, I think that is what I've got for Taurus rising. Let's move on to Gemini. Gemini rising. Again, if you're Gemini sun, Gemini moon, you can listen to this, but it will be more accurate if this is your rising sign. Jupiter in Pisces is going to be transiting your 10th house of career, achievements, reputation, structures. This is such a gift. I was just sitting down to do my Mercurial Monday tarot reading, and here you are live. Yay! Well, we're talking about Jupiter in Pisces a little further, and we're going through each of the signs. So welcome. This will give you a good carryover when you're done with this to go and do the Mercurial Monday video. Thank you for supporting it so much. Gemini risings with 10th house, we are going to be seeing higher status unlocked. The 10th house is your public appearance. So there's a lot more eyes that are going to be on you, which is very good. Most of the time, Gemini risings feel very comfortable with attention. Maybe they don't necessarily seek it out all the time, but they're adaptable enough to be able to they have a lot of the gift of gab most of the time to settle into what that means. Honestly, depending on what else is in your chart, obviously. For Gemini risings, you're definitely going to want to see if there are planets or things stationed in your 10th house for a more accurate depiction of what this could be. But this is a really great time for promotions or raises. Jupiter wants to give you opportunities, and sometimes we might think we're getting a gift with a promotion, but we might realize or awaken to say, like, oh wait, actually I don't even want to be here right now. So it might kind of turn out into being emotional healing for getting opportunities, but deciding they're not for you. That's fine too. If you're looking to launch your business or launch that YouTube channel, or to start that new series, or to launch a course, or to start that Etsy shop for Gemini risings, now is the time. Jupiter is here to kind of gift you with the self-worth and the public eye and the achievement status to unlock those doors. So now is really the time for you to do that. it's going to feel like a freedom of energy in these aspects and these placements of career and achievements. Um, Achievements don't just have to be career, but it is linked. A lot of our achievements feel very linked to our status with our career. This could be honestly like achieving something you've wanted to achieve for a really long time, like uh you know, finishing a part of the house or getting married, or something that you've been wanting to achieve that you finally get to achieve. That is Jupiter's gift of either speeding it up or kind of amplifying it times 100. Again, I put like planning your bucket list goals and eyes on you. Honestly, this is really like you could be getting a bonus, or really feeling creative, a creative boost or creative juices going, and being able to get your achievements, um, and unlocking certain aspects of career, and your reputation. Really amping up a little bit of your reputation within the career or in the public eye, or people are really seeing you achieve things. So you could be posting things on social media saying, look, I just bought a house, or look, I just did this or that. And people are gonna be like, wow, he's there doing really good right now. So, all right, I think that's it for Gemini. For all of my Gemini risings in the live chat right now, go ahead and post a yellow heart, or yellow stars. And if you're watching the playback of this from my Gemini risings, do the same in the comments below. I want to see where my Gemini risings are, if I have any here. Anyone? Anyone? All right. The Cancer rising. If you are Cancer rising, go ahead and give me blue hearts or water droplets. For Cancer, or the moon. Give me moon emojis if you're watching the playback, or if you're watching the live stream right now. This Jupiter in Pisces is going to be transiting through your ninth house of higher education, beliefs, travel. This is where Jupiter feels really comfortable right now. And this is a wonderful, wonderful time to learn a new language, start new avenues of like expanding through spirituality. Again, this is our beliefs. So starting a new religion. Oh, hi, Amanda. Um, it's really going to be great for, again, this is one for astrology. So if you've been trying to learn astrology, or you're trying to pick up astrology, now is a great time for that, because Jupiter is going to kind of make us feel like we're seeing the big picture. We're really getting connected with what we feel, with what we believe, and how we're learning and how we're teaching others through what we learn. It's a great time to publish a book, or to start that blog, or even just to get back into writing or journaling, or even just a stream of consciousness of your thoughts that you can maybe later turn into writings. Travel opportunities. I can see a lot of us trying to travel because of the vaccines being rolled out and kind of completed rounds for a lot in the US at least. But particularly for Cancer, I can see there being an opportunity for traveling outside of the local area, particularly to areas that have water. So going on cruises, or if that's not viable or safe, then things like going to water, spending the weekend away, maybe out of state by the lake, your family's lake or cottage, or going to the ocean, things like that. Gaining perspective of your mind and emotions. Again, this could be another feeling of a spiritual awakening, or you might be receiving a lot of spirit downloads and you might not even realize it. This would be a great time to kind of set up something like an altar, maybe even giving it the theme of water, or trying something out like scrying through water, or looking through a mirror, or looking into astral or dream interpretations. This is a really great time for you to gain perspective and connect with the higher divine. Again, if you're looking to go back into school, or we might be completing school, or something that we learned in school might be going like, oh, aha, like I remember that. Let me use that creatively and let's really, really kind of connect with that. Amanda says, heck yeah, I'm going down to Jersey Shore in a couple weeks. Perfect. For my Cancer rising, you're going to be going and spending time during or with water. And if you guys have nothing planned, then maybe you can try to safely plan something that can involve water. I think that's it. Honestly, learning a new language. Astrology is the language of stars, so astrology um, included, or learning something new artistic, trying to develop your own mental, emotional language through things like music or painting or filming or writing. Um, Even though I say language, I don't necessarily have to mean the language of words. I mean the language of how we feel and we express and we move through our senses and our conscious and our subconscious. I hope that that makes sense. It's a little meta, but so can Pisces can be kind of meta. But yes, for my Cancer risings, that is what to expect. All right, we are on to Leo. Leo risings, please give me the sun emojis or a lion emoji in the comments now in the live stream or down below. That'd be super fun. Just flood me with Leo-esque emojis. For this placement for you, it's going to be transiting the 8th house. This is gonna be a big one for y'all. And the 8th house is quite serious. It's quite intense, and it deals with deep things like death, taxes, mystery, and other people's finances, partners' finances, or other people's money and possessions. And this might seem like, oh no, but there is a gift, again, a gift. And this might be a gift of finally being able to see how a transformation recently has kind of set you free emotionally, or being able to release something so that we can move on to bigger or better things emotionally, spiritually, mentally, soul wise. This is a deep placement for Jupiter to be, but it brings light and abundance and happiness and the sense of gratitude here. But it is like a watery kind of veil or fog in regards to these things that sometimes are a little difficult to handle. But this could be an awakening of power. There's a lot of power struggles or power dominance happening in the 8th house. So you could really be like getting your groove back with your power, or understanding and connecting back to how to balance power. And I don't mean like power. I mean, I kind of do, but I mean really getting a sense of what you can do with your own power, with your mind, with your thoughts, and kind of how you can navigate through the world within this. Intimacy, and deep healing of emotional wounds could be taking place for you with this transit. Investigations going well. This is a weird one that I wrote down because the 8th house has like mystery and secrets and things that are staying uncovered. And when Jupiter's here, it's like, oh, wait, bullet, like we're expanding it. And Pisces allows us again to kind of see through the veil of things. Like it kind of takes down and breaks down the walls and adds like a like sheer curtain in front of it. So if there's something that you're trying to uncover, if there's shadow work that you just have been hitting a wall, hitting a wall with, now is the time where like brace yourself, because the gift of Jupiter is going to be letting you see in through all of that areas. As well as like, this is a random one that came to my mind, so maybe this is specifically for some Leo rising, but if you've been trying to find something out, like maybe you've been trying to find a family member, or maybe you've been trying to find that job that you just feel like you don't know what it is, or there's some sort of like truths being uncovered, or if you're trying to find, like maybe you've been having like health issues or somebody else that you know or something like that, and you're trying to figure out what it is, there's knowledge and there's truth and there's mystery that is being uncovered here for the better, something that needs to come to light. You might come into a large sum of money from somebody else, either as an inheritance, or maybe a partner getting a raise, a partner getting a promotion or a bonus, something that is coming to you through somebody else. Um, Someone in your household, something like that. Hi, Jess. How are you? Hi, Sue. Good morning. Thanks for joining. We're currently on Leo rising, Jupiter transiting Pisces in the 8th house. So if you are Leo risings, please send me those emojis in the comments of like the sun and lion. Um, I think merging of incomes. Again, this is other people's finances, so there could be great benefit in like you doing something together financially with another person, gaining benefit. So like if you're trying to get something and maybe you can't do it on your own, you might receive help from other people, like having co-signers or joint accounts. Like if you and your partner have had separate incomes or separate money, you guys might decide to open up a bank account and kind of have a joint bank account, things like that. There's a lot of benefits coming to you from material possessions or other people's monies. Again, you might be able to get yourself out of debt. So you might be coming into a large sum of money, which is like, how am I going to pay off this stupid little bill? Can't believe it got this way. It'd be very good for you. You might even see part of your debt just kind of like dissipate. Oh, like, oh, I don't even have to deal with that now. Wouldn't that be nice? So, but really, I'm seeing there being an opportunity for Leo risings with this eighth house placement to go through a spiritual, emotional, and creative awakening of knowledge in regards to their soul and their deeper consciousness of how they connect with themselves and others. So that is it for Leo risings. Let me move on to Virgo. So for Virgo, what are we going to do? Let me see. I want to see. You know what? We gonna do money signs for Virgo. I want to see money signs for Virgo, and I want to see a tree. I don't know why. Tree, Virgo risings give me trees and money signs. I feel like that. And you know what? Just do a classic pink heart. So give me all of those emojis. I don't know why I picked those ones. Is Virgo, for you, Jupiter in Pisces is going to be transiting your seventh house. I am a Virgo rising, so this was back when the story of my father passing, this one-on-one gift of a connection between somebody I cared about and my partner. Yeah, okay, tree and my BF, Michelle, nice. BF is in best friend or boyfriend, because it's going to be good for you through them, because this is going to be all about, ooh, I like the little four-leaf clover. Is that a four-leaf clover? Or no, it's a tree. It looked like a four-leaf clover. For relationships and partnerships, Virgo risings out here. Look, this is a great time to really start new relationships or amp up the relationships. There is a gift and abundance and opportunity for you to kind of really expand your connection to other people, experiences that feel like it changes our beliefs, or experiences that feel like a spiritual level up when it comes to our relationships and our one-on-one partnerships. If you're trying to go into business with somebody else, or you're trying to start new projects, like if you and your friend want to start a podcast, you've been thinking about it for a while, for all of my Virgo risings, now is the time. This is also a great time, honestly. One of the places, if people are trying to get pregnant, this is a good time to start that or to have that. Normally, that is, we're going to talk about that when we get to fifth house transits, but because it is a joining and a gift and a leveling up and expansion within a relationship, you might be doing things like getting married or getting engaged or buying a house with a partner or starting a business with a friend, or having these really deep, meaningful experiences that kind of change and shift the way that we believe or the way that we understand our consciousness. Stop, no babies for me. Listen, I'm not saying you have to, okay? It's just, it could be for some people a gift that they are trying to achieve within their relationship that could be unlocked for them. So, also long distance connections, because Jupiter is all about long distance or language or traveling. You might be going with your partner or going to meet friends and seeing people across country, or you might be going literally outside of the country with a partner and having these experiences that feel that way. Maybe a car though. Michelle, no, for me either. Again, we're going to talk about that when we get to fifth house transits for the babies. I'm not not implying that you have to get pregnant if you're a Virgo rising. I'm just saying that it's one of the things when you're talking about advancements or opening up consciousness and beliefs with one-on-one partners, you might have friends that are telling you that they're expanding their relationships and expanding their partnerships through having children, and you might get to connect more with that person because of it. I will tell you though that yes, anyways, I was gonna say my best friend is a Virgo rising, is currently pregnant, and I'm a Virgo rising, and we've been connecting anyways. So social special energy and memories connected with others and created with others. Again, my example was very deep and meta with with my papa passing, but it is a very good example of how subconsciously and consciously our spirits can have these joinings and these unions. Um, this feels really weird, but if you're into like astral or meditative things, it'd be really fun if you had a friend who is also into this to kind of meditate together and to see what kind of things that you can create through meditating either at the same time or in the same room or things like that. Jess, Michelle said, hopefully my boyfriend isn't having a baby. Listen, yeah, I knew y'all would take that out of context. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think that's it. Honestly, it's going to be a very good time to focus on one-on-one relationships, partnerships. There's a gift that's going to be here. There is going to be an abundance, an awakening, a expansion of beliefs and emotional healing with partnerships and one-on-one relationships. Again, if you're not in a relationship and you're looking for a relationship in the next 2 months or so, it's a great time to kind of explore that, and opportunities might be coming your way. And for those in relationships already, there's gifts or experiences that could be happening that really feel like we're amping it up, or that we're really enjoying our time with those people. All right, enough from you, Virgo risings. Haley says, I just purchased my rising sun and moon stickers from you. Thanks. Haley, thank you so much. I hope that you enjoy them. I have them like on my water bottles and on my book of shadows, and I hope that you enjoy them. I will try and send them out today, although I think the mailman already came. So tomorrow, I will send them out tomorrow. For anybody else that wants to check out my astrology stickers, and that don't know or don't have them already, I did a watercolor series where I did each of the signs as artwork. It has your element, your number associated in the zodiacal sign order, it has your associated planet and glyph, and it's fun. So you can go over to my website. If all of you are watching the playback of this and you're thinking, I want a reading with her, I would love to work with you. And right now I'm currently booked for the month. I do open up readings currently on a monthly basis, so I'm booked for the rest of the month, and I'll be opening up bookings for June, probably at the end of the month or beginning of next month, because I will be going I'll be going out of state for the first half of June. So please take a look at my website frequently at the end of May if you're looking to book a natal chart session with me. I used to have a template that allowed for a wait list where people would put in their email and then it would notify you when I restocked that thing. But I changed over my templates recently and spent hours of work on it to come to find out that this new template doesn't support that. So I'm actually going to be spending some time at the rest of the month trying to change my website again back, because it is a very good feature that I think a lot of people utilized so that they didn't have to keep like checking back every few days. It would just notify them. And so if you're looking for that, I will be announcing when I have that available again. But thank you to everyone who I've already worked with and who I will be working with in the future. All right, let's move on to Libra rising. All of my Libra risings, give me purple hearts and pink hearts, and let me see. I want to see no, whatever else you feel like, whatever else feels good for you. Pink and purple hearts, like a bunch of them, all different types of pink and purple hearts for my Libras. It's going to be transiting your sixth house. So Jupiter in Pisces will be transiting your sixth house of health, routine, pets, work, where the 10th house was career and achievements. The sixth house is more like work and day-to-day things. Lisa's got a ton of hearts, a ton of purple hearts for my Libra risings. This is a really good opportunity for you to gain a new position within your job, or maybe a new area of advancement in work or routine. If you are not looking for that, you might be feeling like a sense of relief or pride or acknowledgement within your work. Again, you might be like getting like the employee of the month, or you might be getting like recognition, awards in aspect of your job. You might see a lot of benefits in working with coworkers. Again, with health being here, this is a really great time to connect back to something that makes us feel spiritual with our bodies. So again, it's a really good time, Lisa, for some yoga. It's a really great time to do things like swimming or something, waiting for an opening. Yes. Okay. All right. We have a lot of Libra risings here. This is really great time to, if not move into a new job, then maybe switch positions within a job. But yeah, I called you out, Lisa. I'm just teasing. But it really is. If you take Jupiter and Pisces, it'd be like learning a language of energy. But then with we're dealing with health, it's like let's learn a new energy through the foods that we eat or the routines that we set out, like our self-care routines. What are we doing in the morning? What are we doing at night? Or what are we doing to help our body awaken to connecting back to it on a spiritual level again? So our walks around the block, or doing yoga, or I just am emphasizing like meditation, yoga, things like that are really good. Or when we're making our meals, when we're eating, when we're doing our routines and our to-dos, we might feel a sense of self-worth that is amping up, or an expansion of beliefs and ideas around our routines. If you're looking to get a pet, now is a great time. Or if you already have pets, you might be having really wonderful experiences or connections or things pertaining to your pet. Peggy and I are incorporating regular trek walks into our routine. So instead of driving around chatting, we're walking and chatting. I love that. That is great. That's really, really great. We will, yeah, honestly, this is really great for Libra risings to try to discover or uncover new things within your day-to-day routines, your habits, some of the habits that you do, maybe switching it up like Lisa's doing with Peggy. And again, if you're looking for a new position or a new area of work, maybe it's not your long term, maybe it's not your career, maybe it's not to do with your achievements, but maybe you really need to switch it up here. For Libra risings, there could be an opportunity, or maybe you're not even looking to switch it up, but your job says, hey, you know what, this position kind of opened. What do you think about doing this instead? We need a manager. How about, have you thought about being a manager? So I think this is a really great time for everyone, but I like the things that I'm seeing for Libra risings. I would say for Libra risings, we're going to want to watch a little bit of our sugar levels. I am not a health professional. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a dietitian, but one of the areas that I am seeing for Libra risings is just kind of watch our sugar intake, because whatever Jupiter does, it expands, and we might be holding a little bit of more water or a little bit more of the sugars than normal in our body. So again, moving and kind of getting a new routine, it's not only going to help us physically and health wise, it's going to feel like it is a spiritual awakening to something that's been a little unlocked for a while, or maybe that we have been trying to unlock, but we've been doing it in the wrong areas, so we can play around here. So sorry, I was getting a call. Let's move on right back. Lisa says, that sugar no. Okay, we're doing pretty good. We're making our way through, making our way downtown. Next we're doing Scorpio risings. Scorpio risings, give me that scorpion emoji, give me that black heart, those white hearts. And yeah, scorpion, black and white hearts, maybe the red heart in there. I kind of like that too. Scorpio risings, where are you at? because we have Jupiter. What house was Virgo was for Virgo rising? Virgo rising was transiting the seventh house, Michelle. So Virgo was seventh, but now we're doing Scorpio. Scorpio is going to be dealing with the transit through the fifth house. Jupiter in Pisces is going to be traveling through the fifth house for Scorpio risings. Just wanted to say it again and get it out like, ugh. So the fifth house pertains to children or your inner child or seeing things from a fun, loving, happy, creative, joyful space. This is a very outgoing, a very playful, romantic, childlike space. For those who have been trying to conceive, this is a nice space for you to do so, because we call this in astrology, Jupiter transiting through the fifth house is like fertile myrtle. So if you're not trying to, that is fine. I'm not saying that you will, or your partner or whoever else you're looking for that has a Virgo or Scorpio, Scorpio rising is going to do this. But if this is something that you're looking for, I can tell you the cards are in your favor during the next 2 months. And if it doesn't happen then 2022, when Jupiter stations in Pisces for the long haul of the year. This is also where we can find our getting more attention, getting more praise, and feeling a opening sense of self-worth. This feels, again, like I said, for another transit, for another sign, but it feels a little bit like eyes on you. You're feeling this sense of joy and happiness and a little bit of this extroversion that I think sometimes Scorpio risings don't have naturally, or they try to avoid. They might think or make people feel like they are, but I feel like it's going to unlock something mentally and emotionally and spiritually for you here that's going to allow you to play, feel lucky, have more romance. Now she specifies with the baby talk. Yes, so fifth house, there's a couple different areas in which it can lead to things like that. But if you are trying Scorpio risings, this is a great, and for any sign, I'm not saying that the other signs won't. I feel like people get really like, when I talk about babies, but or pregnancy. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Samantha. I really appreciate um, the little tip. That thank you so much. And I like the little rose it gave me. So for Scorpio risings, again, fun activities, vacationing. For a lot of us, I feel like we're going to be getting out and doing things. But again, this is a space for Scorpio risings to feel like we're giving ourselves a little bit of, if not a vacation, then a staycation. Enjoy some leisurely activities. Have fun with your hobbies, play with children, or do things that you used to like as a child again and see them through new eyes, unlocking knowledge and higher learning or the connection to the divine through just having fun, not taking things so seriously. So like, don't feel bad about watching your favorite Disney movie from your childhood, or rereading one of your favorite like classic fantasy novels. Like, go back and listen or read like Peter Pan, or a book that's like Wendy Darling by Colleen Oakes, one of my favorite retellings of Peter Pan, where Peter is evil. Allow yourself to play around and journey into having fun. Smile boldly is what I have here for Scorpio risings, whether you need to do it on your own or Jupiter kind of just gives you that feeling and that advancement and that self-worth and that play and that happiness. But yeah, children, love, something really great might be happening if you already have children for those Scorpio risings. So something of an advancement might happen to a child. You might be getting that news that something's good has happened to your child. Or yeah, I think that's it. Or creative pursuits. Again, play around with being creative, whatever that means for you. Incorporate dance or music or arts, or go out to that museum or things like that. It's going to really awaken a sense of higher knowledge and connection to the divine and your emotions during the next 2 months. All right, all right, all right. Moving on, we're going to be doing Sagittarius rising. If you are a Sagittarius rising, let me see the world emoji, or fire. I want some fire. I guess I could have did that for the other signs too, but I feel Sag. Give me the fire and the world, setting the world on fire for the Sag risings. This is an exciting space for you for the Sag risings. It's going to be transiting your fourth house, the fourth house being of home, family, mother, or women, connections with women, but mostly it's going to be for family and home. Oh, burning hearts for Samantha. That's cool. I didn't even know that that was an emoji. That's me. So Sag risings, this is a great time to be focusing on the home and family. There might be luck and advancement and growth and expansion when it comes to home. It would be a great time to improve the home, to reno a home, to put an addition on a home, or to grow within the family. So if you're not expanding your family, again, we're talking about babies, but Jupiter, again, it gives you the gift of expansion and growth. So that's why those things connect. But if it's not you and your family immediately, it could be somebody outside of your family growing. So like a family member getting married, again, you're gaining family members, or another person in the family either adopting or starting to date somebody else, or having children of their own and feeling like your family is expanding. But again, within the home, this is a great time for buying or selling opportunities. The market in America right now for the housing market is really crazy, but for our Sag risings, if you are looking into buying property, buying a home, or selling your home, or selling property, there might be some gifts or abundance or opportunities within that you could gain from, or learn from, or kind of expand your knowledge with. This is a little bit of an abstract one, but not really. You might be getting a inheritance from family. Again, this isn't particularly meeting up. I just put this down because it's in family, it's growth, it's abundance, it's gifts, opportunities. So maybe somebody is gifting you a home, or you're inheriting a home, or there's a lot of nesting vibes here. So being able to maybe redo a space in your home, or really just having important experiences with family reunions. So you might be connecting with family time, or experiences with family, or with this also could be your adopted family, or what you feel like you've incorporated. A lot of us might not have or good relationships with our blood relatives, but this is whatever we call family. Um, this is also an opportunity for maybe you to figure out you had a family member that you didn't know that you had. That might be a little abstract as well, but I'm just saying. Let's see what else. Veils being lifted within the home and family. There's something here that came up when I was taking my notes for Sag risings. Pisces also is escapism and addiction. And I didn't put this note down for any of the other rising signs. So again, I don't know if something specific going on here with me and my notes for Sag risings, but if there's a family member that has been struggling, or something that has been struggling inside the home, as far as maybe addictions or substance or kind of escapism, there's an opportunity for kind of a healing or an awakening, or maybe some advancements, improvements in this area. I will leave it at that, but really, we're dealing with home and family and some gifts, luck, abundance, opportunity, expansion. If you've been thinking about putting that other room on, or redoing the basement or something for my Sag risings, now is a really great time to do that. All right, for my Capricorn risings. For my Capricorn risings, I want the mountain emojis, and I want a pencil or a brain emoji, because we're going to be dealing with the third house. So let me see the mountain and maybe the white heart, whatever you got, for my Capricorn risings. This is very interesting for me because I have a dear friend who has a Capricorn rising, and all of this checks out very, very strongly. For Capricorn risings, it's going to be transiting your third house of communication, for early education or social gatherings, social appearances, and siblings. Obviously, when I say social activities, social experiences, again, we do need to be safe. We are still dealing with a pandemic. However, communication can be through social media platforms, it could be through telephone, it could be through writing, or it could be through getting together with people. Capricorn rising, for Jupiter to be in your third house in the sign of Pisces, this is a great opportunity for you to literally learn a new language, for you to literally learn anything new, because, excuse me, Jupiter wants to expand our knowledge, it wants to expand our ways of thinking and our beliefs. So something like studying astrology, again, is a great placement here. Not that I'm trying to force people to study astrology, but the reason why I bring this up is because my good friend who is a Capricorn rising is I'm teaching them astrology, and it is a great time to unlock the subconscious patterns and to think outside of the realms of our structures and our regular knowledge and our belief systems. It's expanding those sorts of things. So it's an increase of learning, an increase of knowledge. So going back to school or taking a random course that you really feel like changes the game. So think about, for all of my Capricorn risings, maybe going on something like Skillshare, or learning through YouTube a new thing that you really have been wanting to for a while. You might have a really good gift or things coming from siblings or interactions with siblings if you have siblings. Sharp tongue and positive conversations. This is a great time to be speaking up, or to be getting your ideas out, or to be inspiring others or getting inspiration from others through conversations, because the third house is really about the way that we process information and our conversations with others. Again, social media attention, if our Capricorn risings watching this is trying to grow a brand, trying to grow a business, and social media is a big part of how we do that nowadays, this is a great time for you to market, for maybe for you to brand some of that content, for maybe for you to promote some of that content, or whatever you're putting out. If you're trying to start something new, like a new idea or a new series, or you're trying to launch that like Etsy shop or that channel, again, in this area, Jupiter wants to give us that really big boost of attention and social media communication. If there's been an influencer or something that you're trying to reach out to, you might have more success in them replying back to you. It's a good time to do like collabs, or um, tags or things like that will really amp up your engagement if that's the kind of area that you're in. Again, for Capricorn risings, I can't, like LinkedIn, or kind of beefing up the way that you are writing about yourself. So things like that, you could get some attention through those areas. But writing inspiration, again, if you're into writing, or maybe you're not into writing, it's a good time to get inspiration and creative juices going through listening to an audiobook, or rereading, again, another, because it's words, it's communication. But I really can see this being beneficial for Capricorn risings to do something like scripting. I recommend that a lot. But really kind of getting the flow going of automatic writing or daily pages. You can really be feeling some things coming through intuitively, or expanding your beliefs through writing and words and communication. All right, I think we're good here for Capricorn risings. Making our way, we have two more left. The next sign is Aquarius. For our Aquarius, I want rainbow emojis, and honestly, an array of hearts, different colored hearts, whatever you feel like. Or maybe like a wave emoji for Aquarius. So, Aquarius, Jupiter in Pisces is going to be transiting through your second house of money, goods, material possessions, and our values. This is, I mean, honestly, this one's pretty like easy to see where this could play out. I mean, honestly, again, a advancement in finances, unlocking certain avenues in a job, like maybe getting another promotion. I don't see this so much in a job as I do in receiving monetary gain, or understanding our value in our material possessions and goods. This could be like, oh, I'm moving and I'm having to reassess and really connect back to every single thing that I own, and seeing the value in what I need and what I don't need, and this unlocking some sort of emotional or spiritual kind of connection to our physical goods and our finances. This is a really good time if we're trying to buy something or get a loan. If the odds could be in our favor. Again, if we're trying to buy a house or trying to get something, the monetary gain or material values might be amped up for these Aquarius risings during this time. It's a really good time for you guys to like the Aquarius risings. Y'all during the next 2 months are going to be like manifestation machines because really our values and what we want to bring into us, the second house is very, very I feel like manifestation heavy, like doing money magic or doing trying to monetary gain magic. Whatever you guys put out there, you can gain. Or Jupiter wants to give you the gift of opportunity to get those things. To doing a lot of mind work or spirit work in kind of writing checks out. I don't know why this is coming to mind. This is so weird, but I think there's an interview with Jim Carrey, like you think it on either Oprah or something, where when he first started out, he like wrote himself a check for $1 million and he kept it in his wallet until he was able to actually like cash that or something. That along those lines, like start really thinking about how you can amp up and kind of manifest or open yourself out to monetary gain or of goods, your material goods, if you're trying to buy something or achieve something or gain something or to really invest or amped up the financial value of things that you might already own. Seeing new value in goods again, like you might have things where you're rearranging a room or redoing something and you're really kind of taking stock and finding new value within the items that maybe you already have. Again, for Aquarius risings, if you're into things like building an altar, I would say now would be a good time to kind of pull some stuff out from the bins or redo them or go for a walk and find new items that you can create magic with. But really, this is a gift. I mean, this could be just literally like extra money. You might get a check in the mail. You might be seeing things being sold for more than you were expecting along those lines. All right, Aquarius risings. Honestly, this is a great placement for all of you, and I'm a little jealous Jupiter's not transiting my second house. Lastly, but definitely not least, we have Pisces rising. What's up, all my Pisces rising? I want fish emojis. I don't know why, but I'm saying clouds. Give me cloud emojis. And blue hearts. Again, blue hearts. Pisces, huge, huge transit for all of my Pisces rising people. Jupiter is going to be transiting your first house. This is the house of identity and body and beginnings. This is where you're going to find your ascendant. This is where we're going to connect with how we identify with ourselves and how we want to put ourselves out into the world, how we start things. This is a huge, huge transit for you within the next 2 months. And it's really going to give you a great preview to what could come in 2022. For all my Pisces rising people with Jupiter transiting the first house, this is going to be a huge unlocking of confidence of how you feel about yourself. I feel like we've been a little bit dormant. We have things going on in our 12th house that could be kind of serious or really taking us through the ringer here. And now we have Jupiter that's going to be gifting us with this confidence to go out and get what we want, or to start new things, or to identify with a part of ourselves that maybe has been locked or hidden away. This is a great time to start literally anything that you've been wanting to start, because we have this energy and this boost and this expansion in regards to putting forth our energy. If you need to make a first impression, like if you guys have job interviews or you're trying to meet new people or you're trying to do any of that, we're really getting this attention and this expansion in the area of how we relate to ourselves and how we can start putting ourselves out there more. This is a really great time to live creatively. Again, so you could be playing around with experimenting with the way that you dress, experimenting with the way that you do maybe your makeup, or If you don't do makeup, then you might be changing up your hair, or you might be really focusing on things that deal with your physical body. Um, you really might feel a sense of self beliefs within how you connect physically with yourself and who you are. I feel like this is another placement for me to say that there's going to be great advancements for mental health, emotional health. So, my Pisces risings, my emotional, intuitive beings, psychically, this is a really great time. I feel like we've been having to shield ourselves a whole lot because maybe we've been imbalanced in the ways in which we're interacting with energy, with other people's energy or with our energy. I feel like in the next 2 months, things are going to feel a lot easier for us to deal with. And I feel like if you're trying to dabble in things like energy healing or um, yeah, energy healing like Reiki, or go get yourself like a massage um if it's helpful, because that could be like letting go and breaking up areas that we're holding stagnant and Jupiter wants to expand. I don't know why, but if it's available now with COVID restrictions kind of lifting and things being a little bit more safer, I see for Pisces rising, I don't know if you've ever done like float tank experiences, or again going swimming or taking baths and using it as a way to expand spiritual connections. So, doing ritual baths or taking some sort of meditative retreat that connects to your body, and the way that you can gain confidence in connecting to yourself. Honestly, this is another really meta one that's a little hard for me to place pinpoint things like you're going to get a bonus or you're going to do this or that, because it has to do with the way you identify with yourself. Again, for this Pisces rising placement, I would also say to watch your sugar intake, maybe watch extra carbs, the sugar in it, because it will tend to hold on to the body more than normal with Jupiter, because Jupiter wants to expand and contract and things like that. So, you know, if that's something that you need to keep mindful of, keep mindful of. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, and I'm not a dietitian, but just be mindful of overindulgence in certain things. But other than that, I think we have made it through the signs, all of them for Jupiter and Pisces. I'm very, very excited to see what will come. I think Jupiter being in the sign of Pisces, which is its traditional placement, it's really clear. It's really going to be easy for us to see some of these things playing out. And it really is gift and abundance and luck. Um, I want everyone to keep in mind keywords like an abundance of water or learning of energy, the language of energy. That's very Jupiter in Pisces. Again, for more specific ways in which this could play out for everyone, make sure where I said your rising signs house is transiting. Like, again, Aquarius is going to have this dealt with second house. If you have planets or something stationed in the second house in your chart, take a look at what those planets mean and what they represent for maybe some more pinpointed areas of how this could be affecting you. I hope that everybody enjoyed this. I sure did. Make sure to comment down below what your rising sign is with all the according emojis so I can come back and comment. If anything is connecting for you or for a loved one that you know their rising sign, give me some more examples of how this is playing out or how you think this is going to be playing out for you for this little test run. I hope to be doing a lot more live streams like this in the future. If you liked it, please make sure to give this live stream a thumbs up. It really does help me. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I've been putting out a ton more content. I'm really trying to rev myself back up to consistency and connecting with all of you. Thank you again so much, Samantha, for the donation towards this live stream with the little cat heart eye emojis that said, love this live. Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you for everyone who stuck through the whole thing. Again, the more I do these, the better they're going to be, the more confidence I'll gain, and the more structure that I'll have within it. But I think getting through everything in an hour and a half, I'm pretty proud of, because normally that's not how it goes for me if you've been on my channel for a while. Thank you guys so much. If you feel so inclined to share this live stream once it is posted, I would really appreciate it as well. If you have someone that you think could benefit from this, please do so. I love you all very much and have a beautiful day. I forgot how to stop this. Okay, I think we do this. Bye, everybody.